help some of you right now who are trying to figure out how to scale your business, but you feel a little stuck. You feel like maybe you have these highs and lows, you have these revenue spikes, you're riding the revenue roller coaster, so to speak, and you can't seem to figure out how to build a consistent, scalable, predictable business. And listen, I know there are so many gurus on the internet who I have no intention of being like, who are telling you scale, scale, sale, and you just need this one tactic and this one hack and this one strategy. And I'm here to confront that a little bit today because it frustrates the crap out of me because it's not serving business owners well. And I know for years I took those gurus' advice and thought it was going to be the silver bullet fix to all of my business perils. And unfortunately it wasn't, leaving me disappointed and frustrated and trying to figure out why things weren't working. And so I want to talk for a minute about the perils of focusing exclusively on sales and why I think today's, entrepreneurial environment has become a little bit toxic in the sense that everybody is focused on driving sales, bigger revenue numbers, kind of just making that the end game. But nobody's talking about the principles that lead to healthy, sustainable businesses and actually leave business owners in an empowered position to step back as a CEO, do what they love, have the freedom to manage their time and focus on the vision. And that doesn't come just by driving more sales through the door, as much as people say that. That comes by actually having a balanced approach. And if you're focusing exclusively on sales right now, even in the midst of this COVID crisis, I promise you, you're missing out on opportunity to really grow your business in a way that's sustainable and scalable and ultimately gives you what you want, which is freedom out of your business, the ability to be able to hire and empower a winning team and systemize this thing so that you can continue to be the leader and the visionary, not just the manager and the producer, okay? So this is the danger of focusing exclusively on sales, the perils. And I'm going to use a tree as a parable. As you guys can tell, I'm a great artist. No, this is my wife's drawing over here. Or, excuse me, my wife is the artist in our family. This is the best I can do. Okay, but sales, guys, sales are kind of like the leaves and fruit, okay? And people like to talk about this a lot because it's sexy, right? More sales, more fruit, right? And this is what you hear all the time online. But the reality is a gardener does not look at the fruit. He does not start with the fruit. He does not examine the fruit and go, okay, how do I focus on getting more fruit, getting more fruit, getting more fruit? The gardener is actually going to start by looking at the root. And a smart gardener is going to examine not just the roots, right? But he's going to examine the ecosystem, the soil and the water and the amount of sunlight that the tree is getting. Knowing that those are the things that, when aligned correctly, create the environment for fruit to be born in a sustainable way. So I think about fruit as kind of like the sales, right? And if you focus just on the fruit, you'll end up frustrated. And I've seen this time and time again. Business owners who are always struggling and always striving and always trying to inject some sort of super fertilizer into their business to crank out more sales. And at the end of the day, they're still not super profitable. They don't have the freedom out of their business that they want. And it's because we haven't examined some of these other things that are at play. So what are these other things at play? So let me walk you guys down this. So before we have sales in a consistent way in our business, we actually have to examine the systems. Do we have systems to sustainably create sales in our business? And for a lot of business owners, if they're honest, they are the system. And they know it. They're the bottleneck on their business. And all of the systems live in their head. And they're the only one who knows how to do it exactly the right way. Which is why they're not able to empower a strong team of A players who they ultimately trust with their business, right? Systems and team go hand in hand, and you have to synergize them. I know people who think that the silver bullet for their problem is they just need to make this one hire, and they're kind of shooting from the hip trying to hire that person. My question is, do you have a system in place to empower that person? And a lot of times the answer is no, right? But on the same way, if you have systems, some people I know who are business owners are super systematic by nature, but unfortunately, Systems only work if you have people to run them. And at the end of the day, you can have the greatest, most documented, well-oiled, systematic machine in the world, and it's still going to require someone to run it. And that person is going to be you, leaving you stuck in a self-employed job instead of a true freedom-focused business, right? And so when we look at fruit and sales, we do have to examine the systems and the team. But then there's a layer below that, because in order to put, and some of you have experienced this, great systems in place and empower a great team, you have to go to the root source and make sure those are healthy and strong. And so for me, the root source is your vision and strategy. Your vision and strategy. And for a lot of business owners, this has gotten lost somewhere along the journey, right? We started out our business with big dreams and big vision, and somewhere along the way, we lost sight of that. We got caught up in the hustle and grind, and we forgot why we got into business in the first place. And because we lost sight of our vision, or maybe we weren't clear on it in the first place, we don't have a clear strategy. The way I like to think about it is your vision is like your destination. It's where you're heading and where your company is heading. But then your strategy is like the vehicle that will get you to your vision, to your destination. And if your vehicle isn't intelligently designed, it's not going to be able to cross the terrain necessary to get to your vision, right? And so we've got to actually examine the vision and the strategy. A lot of times I find that once you get the vision and strategy in line, it's amazing how with so much less effort, you can produce fruit. You can see sales come in. You can see your perfect clients attracted to you and your customers want to work with you because your vision and strategy are aligned in such a way to attract them. As a result, when you have a clear vision, you can empower a winning team. And when you have a clear strategy, you can design systems to deliver that strategy consistently. But there is still yet a layer deeper. And this is the one that I think gets missed and does not get talked about enough in entrepreneurship and business. And that is, you can have all of this right, literally, and the tree can still come tumbling down, right? You can have a strong root system. You can have systems and team. You can have, sales and fruit, and suddenly overnight, the tree collapses. Why? Because of an unseen but powerful factor called your ecosystem. Your ecosystem. And I define ecosystem as the intersection of your habits and your relationships. For a tree, this means if they are in an ecosystem where they are surrounded by termites, they have the wrong relationships, guess what? Those termites are going to gnaw the tree down and it will crumble over time, right? And habits is like the soil and the sunshine and the water necessary to facilitate a healthy tree. And I find so many business leaders are bumping up against invisible ceilings in their business and they can't figure out why they can't grow, right? They're like, man, I'm trying to be systematic and I've got a team and I've got a strategy, I've got a vision, but I can't figure out why I can't win. And for those people, I would encourage you, you need to examine your ecosystem because your ecosystem is more powerful than your effort. And you very well may, my friend, just simply not have the habits to be supernaturally productive and focused and get the most important things done and show up powerfully every day. Or you might be surrounded by the wrong relationships. The people around you are not the right people. They are your limiting factor. And as a result, you need to change your ecosystem and get around the right people who are winners and who can help you succeed and drive you to live at your fullest potential. And this, guys, this is what we call the unleashed ecosystem. And it's this amazing synergistic approach to business that creates healthy, sustainable growth, where our clients now are building 7-figure businesses that are systemized, self-managing, and sustainable, not quick hit, flash in the pan businesses, things that are going to be around for decades to come and become long-term assets for our clients. And I just want to encourage you guys, you need to probably examine where you're at on this and ask yourself, what's holding you back out of these 4 things I laid out, right? Which one is it for you? Is it that you're focused on sales, you're stuck in the perils of focusing on sales and you think the answer is just another big marketing campaign or you just need to get more clients? Is it a trunk issue where you don't have the systems and team in place to support the capacity of growth that you want to see? Is it a root issue? Do you actually need to get some things tweaked in your vision and strategy and strengthen that so you can build something congruent? Or is it maybe an unseen ecosystem issue that's affecting your ability to really win? And I want to encourage you, friend, to identify which one of those it is, and maybe identify if it's a combo of all of them for you. And then really ask the question, what am I going to do in the next 90 days to fix it? What am I going to do to correct these things that are out of sync in my life as a business so that I can live the life I want to live, I can make the impact I want to make? So if you need any help with that, literally guys, we are here to help. Just feel free to reach out. I'm happy to offer some perspective on your business and really help you maybe gain some perspective on which one of these elements is maybe the problem for you. And I think I mentioned this on my profile earlier, but I'm opening up my calendar to business owners this week. Happy to hop on a call for 15-20 minutes and help you self-diagnose, get some clarity, and figure out, is it an ecosystem issue? Is it a root issue? Is it a trunk issue? Or is it, in some rare cases, a fruit issue where we just need to get a selling online strategy and optimize your profits? But very rarely is that alone the case. So don't fall into the perils of focusing only on sales. Look at the whole picture. Look at the whole picture and examine that in detail, and I believe you'll find what your issue is and maybe come up with some ideas to solve it. Reach out if you need any help figuring those out. Hope this encourages somebody today. Leave a comment if this impacted you. Let me know what stuck out to you, what you learned today, and what specific action you're going to take in your life and business to have more healthy growth. Hope this helps, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day.